Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I could not be any more grateful. We're going to wrap things up. This topic is of misconceptions, and I wanted to share with you the last misconception today to wrap this up on misconception of unwritten rules in recovery. Now, before I go any further, let me say this. These rules are well-meaning, well-intended. A lot of them make sense. I get it. But the problem becomes we strap ourselves to these rules so much so that we're more worried about enforcing the rules rather than the people that we're trying to help guide. And they become more of a hindrance to some people rather than helping some people. So there's my disclaimer. I'm not saying rules are bad, but I will point this out too. We work a suggested program, not a requirement program. So while the rules are there, are they really rules? Or are they more so guides, right? The first unwritten rule I remember hearing is that I could not sponsor people until I was 1 year sober. That's just not the case. I was 6 months sober whenever I started sponsoring people. And that was only because it took me a couple months to buy into this whole idea of recovery. And it only took me about 4 months to complete my step work. I used the example the other day. If I had a terminal illness and I was going to die, you handed me a pill and said, hey, this will treat your terminal illness. You'll live longer and have a lot better quality of life. Why would I wait a whole year before starting that treatment? And that I use that analogy to represent my terminal illness as my alcoholism and my sponsorship as my treatment. But here's the thing, here's the catch. I can't sponsor somebody until I myself have completed the 12 steps. So again, why would I wait? This is another unwritten rule that I've personally evolved my own thoughts and opinions on is no relationships within the first year. You cannot get into a relationship within the first year of recovery. While I understand it's well-meaning and well-intended, the actual rules started as anyway, no major life changes within the first year of sobriety. So that could be getting into a new relationship. That could be getting out of a relationship. When you can avoid it. That could be starting a new job. There's no major life changes. Unfortunately, we strapped ourselves so much to that we've turned it into this idea you're not allowed to get into relationships. And I personally fundamentally disagree with that concept. Again, it's a suggested program. That's a suggestion. It's a guide. But I personally know friends of mine, people with whom I'm close to. They're in relationships. You know what? They're happy and they're sober. So what more could I ask? Why is it any of my business beyond that? And truth be told, it's none of my business at all. But they are happy and they are sober. So that's why I say my personal opinions have evolved. Traditions, that's another one. That's another unwritten rule. Oh, you gotta have meetings this way, and you gotta do this and that and the other, or else it's not a meeting. I call bullshit. What happens when me and a fellow alcoholic walk into a Waffle House and sit down and start talking recovery, and I have to follow all these rules? And how I talk to that person, that person and we sit and talk? Horseshit. I'm more interested in what the person has to say than I am the way in which we can talk to each other. That's because that's how I'm helping them, right? Are you more interested in how you conduct your meeting as opposed to the people within the meeting? Because I'm more interested in the people and hearing what those people have to say. After all, that's my connection to like-minded people. Those meetings are my connection to like-minded people. I can only attend meetings that are pathway specific. In other words, I can only attend meetings that fall within my personal specific recovery pathway, and that's just not true. Again, we all suffer. Addiction is a disease. So that with that concept, maybe like I wouldn't be allowed to go to an NA meeting. Well, shit, I've never been to an NA meeting, but maybe I want to go check it out sometime. Why would I not be allowed? And this is one that has come up a lot that I've heard a lot about anyway. Men sponsor men and women sponsor women. Well, first and foremost, let's define sponsorship. The sponsorship is only communicating, talking and listening. That's it. Between two individuals. That's sponsorship, right? So while I understand the concept and I understand why that unwritten rule is there, let me ask you this. Out of the first 100 men who started the pathway that I work, who was the sponsor of the first woman? Wouldn't it have had to have been a man? For me, if someone reaches out, I'm going to be there to help them. I don't give a damn what their gender is. In my specific pathway, they actually always say, if someone reaches out, we want the hand of our pathway to be there. I'm going to be there, and I don't give a shit what gender they are. Again, you can sit there and slice hair, split hairs, and talk about sponsorship all day long. But at the end of the day, sponsorship is nothing more than just communicating with somebody. Hey, the biggest rule, and it's the one rule, the only rule that I always try to keep in the back of my mind. Rule number 62. Don't take ourselves so damn seriously. Again, we strap ourselves to these rules, and in the long run, we could end up hurting people rather than helping people. And that doesn't allow me to be of maximum service to God and to my fellows, which is my ultimate purpose here on this earth. So I'm out of time. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys, keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. We'll be talking again soon, guys. Remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.